Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, into this reading for the Divine Masculine. Okay, I just saw the Knight of Cups. Now, before I say anything, this is a general reading for all the Divine Masculine in this twin flame connection that we are all together following up on the energies. Now, this energy will be, for me, it will be for the next week or so. So, roughly about 7 to 10 days, okay? Now, let's call upon a divine spirit, guide, angel, and ancestors with regards to this reading. And we'll see what the energy of the divine masculine here is talking about. Okay, and from my spirit guide, angel, ancestors, my divine source, please show me the energy for the collective divine masculine in this collective twin flame connection. I think I missed out on a reading last week, guys. I was too busy. And I apologize for the delay. I try to do this every week, but oh well, what can you do, right? It happens, life takes over your time, your energy, and that's exactly what happened in my case. But here we are, guys. I've been called to do this reading right now. So I said, okay, my dinner can wait. I'm going to do this reading first and then we will go for a different thing, right? So let's see, Divine Masculine, what is your energy here at this point? What is happening here in this collective twin flame connection for the Divine Masculine? Ace of Cups. Beautiful. I need to show you this. We start off the reading with the Ace of Cups. And the bottom is the Fool. Okay. So there could be two interpretations, but we'll talk about it. There could be one interpretation that he knows he is being a fool to have ignored the spiritual connection of love. Or else, he's taking a leap of faith into the spiritual insight. He's like ready to leap into the cup. Okay, if that makes sense. The cup of emotions, guys. The cup of emotions, not literally, metamorphically, right? It's a metaphor I used. Leaping into the cup. You guys will be like, what is she talking about? How can the divine masculine leap into the cup? The Three of Swords. Wow. Okay. All right. Let's move. Let's see what the energy is right now. What's happening in the next 6-7 days with this energy? So whatever the energy here shows up, guys, for me it is the next couple of days energy, give or take, okay? So with the Three of Swords beside the Ace of Cups, that's an interesting combination, don't you think so? It's an interesting combination, guys. And the Queen of Pentacles. All right. Okay. Let's move into the second layer of energy here. We got the Nine of Wands. All right. I'm trying to make the cards as visible as I can. But again, like I said, if you can't see it, no problem. I'm going to read it out to you. The bottom of the deck I just saw was the Empress with the Nine of Wands. So there is a big urge, Knight of Swords. Okay. This is action right in the middle of the reading, guys. Good energy so far. Let's see what happens. Nine of Wands and the Empress clearly denotes being very stubborn about a situation in life, refusing to surrender in front of you, Divine Feminine, holding on with a lot of resilience, saying to himself, no, I can do everything but surrender. That's not me. I'm the Divine Masculine. I cannot. I've got the, I am the person. So I can't surrender, because surrender for the Divine Masculine means absolution, right? The Knight of Wands. So we have got two energy cards in here facing two different directions. Okay, we'll see what's going on here. The Knight of Wands, the Knight of Swords, both are very quick moving energies, okay? Very fast. Very, very quick. One is very fast with communication, and one will be very fast with action. So something over here is gaining momentum here. The Eight of Pentacles. Okay. Definitely talks about something in the material world. The Hermit. Okay. We have just come out of the Virgo energy, but I think this energy is still lingering here for the Divine Masculine. And the bottom is the Moon. So there is some deep, intuitive, subconscious understanding, thinking about something, not talking about it. Could be clearing his internal fear, illusions, whatever that has been lurking in the shadow side of his karma. Getting a depth and clarity on the Moon situation. It also could be you, Divine Feminine, right? Thinking about you. It also could be that you are probably hiding your emotions from him. Yeah. You possibly could be hiding your emotions. You're possibly not showing him all your love and emotions right away. So he could be a little bit worried about that situation. He's wondering what's going on at your end. Yeah. What is that you're thinking, but you're not telling him? Right? You could be very secretive right now. And the Ace of Swords. He wants to know the truth. 100%. He wants to know the truth of your thoughts, what you're thinking about things in here. We'll look at the bottom of the deck a little bit later, guys, but first we'll delve into this reading right away, because these energies with the Knight in the middle seems very interesting. After a long time, I've seen two Knights together right here. So there is some very quick energy that is moving into the scene here. So we start off the reading, guys, with the Ace of Cups that talks about a spiritual insight. The Ace of Cups is, of course, love, unconditional love, self-love, compassion, kindness, forgiveness, everything. Yes. But it's also the third eye. Right? The third eye chakra, that is the spiritual insight into this cup of emotion. That earlier, somebody says, I love you, and you say you love him or her, whatever that situation. So in this case, you might have told him many a times that you love him. He must have replied back, ha, but really did not say in the right way that he loves you back. You know what I mean? That love that comes from the depth of your heart. It's not I love you, I love you. No. That's just the word of mouth. When I say I love you, that comes from your heart. It resounds, and the person hearing that will know if it is just a very superficial way of saying I love you, or if the person really means that from his heart, right? And also the fact, what I'm getting from this card energy here, guys, is that somewhere he could have had doubts about you with this love. He could have been doubting that, you might have been telling him, I love you, I care for you, I'm with you, blah, blah, so on and so forth, right? Which normally is a normal act for people who are connected with each other in that romantic way. Because this journey is definitely not platonic. So let's be very clear about that situation, right? But he could have had the doubt about this situation. That's what I'm getting. He could have said that, oh, well, maybe she does, but, not in the way that perhaps maybe she's not, she doesn't understand what love is. Maybe she's not very serious about that. Maybe she just is under an illusion kind of a situation, right? Maybe she just is telling me, not really, that kind of doubt that creeps into people. And what I'm getting from this energy is that he had that same thing in him. He was doubting. Not that he was doubting you or your unconditional love, but he was doubting the fact of how truthful that love is. Really, is it true, or is it something that comes and goes or will go after some time, right? But now he's getting a clear spiritual insight into the story of this love. He's understanding how much you truly care for him. And not only care for him, how much affection you have for him, how much of love you really feel for him from deep within you. And he can see that clearly in this cup. Now that he is opening his third eye chakra. So all the doubt, all the misleading information he might have gathered about you at one point, there could be circumstances or situations when people could have told him, oh no, that's, it just comes and goes. She's with you today, tomorrow she will disappear, she will find somebody better, and she'll move. So all those kind of energies had made him doubt the quality of this love, really. Because he did not, and it's happening to him over the phases of the moon. So he is crossing through a cycle of the moon, right? He's crossing through the cycle of the moon. We just had a full moon a few days before, right? So with every cycle of the moon, the spiritual insight into this beautiful love story is gathering momentum because he can see it more clearly. The clouds are vanishing. The doubts are vanishing. Right? All the fear, all the misinterpretations, all the illusions that he had is clearing away slowly. Every moon is bringing in, every cycle of the moon is clearing his mind, his vision. And as his mind, his vision is being cleared, his third eye chakra is gathering momentum. It's opening up. He can see that clearly. That one that he hadn't seen before. Like I said, he was in doubt. Because, like I told you, this doubt had been because of his own understanding, which was in turn infused with the understanding of other people around him who could have possibly told him, no, 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 all these are just fiction. It's nice to read it in a book, it's nice to watch a movie about love, but in reality, that is not what happens. And so, that spiritual insight into that story, that how spiritually connected you guys are, and this connection is not from the worldly connection. I have explained this before. It's a connection by the spiritual realm. It's a connection from the divine, right? And that he can now see clearly where this connection has been stemming from, or is being stemming from. The source, the root, right? The source and the root. That is the Ace of Cup. The source and the root. That's where the third eye chakra, he has gone deep down into this cup of emotion to gather the source and the root of this connection of love. That spiritual connection of love. Okay. And this is because the Three of Swords, this is because of the pain. See, at one point I told you that with pain, a lot of people learn to grow. They learn to understand other people better. They learn to understand the difference between the good and the bad. Between what has happened here, there has been a lot of pain in this connection. And that he can see. I'm sorry for the glare, guys. That he can see, right? That there has been a lot of pain in this connection. That was unavoidable. This is the Three of Swords. That how much of pain has gone into the spiritual connection for both of you. For the twins in here. And it's all because of a third party situation. It's all because of other interferences, other people, right? Which has caused so much of pain and sorrow in this cup of love. And he can see that clearly, how much you have suffered, Divine Feminine, because of this Three of Swords. He's learning to grow. He's learning to understand, because with pain, with time, he's figuring things out better. Going to the source of this story, understanding where the source is, right? Because see, when you have, let me tell you, the rivers, right? You see the rivers flowing. But every river has a source. So if you perhaps don't know, for example, the Ganges. Okay, I'm talking about Ganga or the Ganges in English. And the source of the Ganges is in a place called Gangotri, which is in a different spot, right? That's where the glaciers, they melt, the ice melts and the water flows down from that Gangotri that stems from that source and then flows down, right? Takes a path, flows down and becomes the river. And that is how the river Ganges has been formed. But the source is Gangotri, right? So similarly, this is the source. He knows the source of this love. He knows the source of the spiritual journey. But unfortunately, he also knows how much of pain has gone into this connection, into this cup. Right? And that's where the Queen of Pentacles appears, right? That's where the Queen of Pentacles appears. So this is the Divine Feminine in the form of the Queen of Pentacles, right? He wants to offer, he wants to give you that cup of love now. He wants to make you happy, but there is that sorrow. There is that sorrow. And you know that. And this is the reason why you have turned your back from this place. And he knows why you have turned your back. Right? Because of this third party situation. You're looking after yourself. You are stable. You are in a very stable position. You could also be a mother. You are also a housewife. Looking after a homemaker. You could be a mother, a homemaker, a businesswoman, a professional. But you're a very stable person because you're able to take care of yourself. You are able to take care of yourself, and you know that, right? You're able to do things by yourself. You're not reliant on other people coming to help you. They might. If you need help, of course, everybody needs help at some point in time or the other. But the maximum, 80% of your workload is what you are taking care of by yourself. Right? So you have turned your back from this 3 of Swords. And you have told yourself, I don't need this pain. If he doesn't understand what this connection is all about, that's your story here. If he doesn't understand what this connection is all about, and he continues to inflict this kind of pain into this connection, my back is turned. My back is turned because I had a lot of patience and I don't have any more patience in here to deal with this kind of BS. That's your version. Because you don't need to. You don't need to, Divine Feminine. Because by yourself, you are a figure of inspiration to other people in your life. Let me tell you that. The Queen of Pentacles turns out in that shape and form is when she has completed a lot of tasks in her life and has reached this position of fortune and stability. To take care of herself, to nourish her own need, to look after her own health, doing everything that she pleases, eating well, sleeping right, doing her exercises, whatever that situation in life is. But managing indoor, outdoor, all kind of activities while being very, very stable and nourishing in her own self quality. Okay, so over here, this has been a very painful situation for you, Divine Feminine. It has been, and that's why you have turned your back and you're like, I don't need this. If he cannot cure this or rectify this situation, I'm not going to look at this. This situation for you, Divine Feminine, needs high amount of rectification. That's when you will turn towards this cup. That's when you will turn towards this cup, and he knows this. He knows this. But until that happens, whatever you too know that this is a spiritual love, spiritual connection from the source, but you are very unhappy here in the way things have worked out in this beautiful love story. And that's why you're like, no, I don't even want to look at it. Let me do my own work. Let me keep myself occupied. Let me be happy by myself as a person, as an identity, as a figure who is stable, nourishing, and can do her own stuff without asking for help at the drop of a hat. Right? So you are in that position. You are in that power. Listen, guys, you have come to this place after a lot of work. This Queen of Pentacles for you hasn't happened overnight. You didn't get up from your sleep overnight and discovered that you are the Queen of Pentacles. No. To become the queen or the king, I've said this before, to become the king or the queen, you have to go through a lot of life learning lessons. Learning to understand yourself, learning to have patience, learning to, work with people in harmony. Learning to be apart, because when you're doing indoor, outdoor, you're looking at things from different perspective, you're interacting with a lot of people. You have to have a very stable and harmonious balance in the 3D. Your feet is on the ground, you're not floating in the air, right? Your feet is on the ground, you're not floating in the air. So you by yourself, divine feminine, you know what you're doing. And he knows you. He is looking at you in the Queen of Pentacles energy is because he's learning to respect you for who you are today. You see, he's learning to respect your deeds, your actions, your work, the way you have handled yourself in the material world, the way you have stabilized your fortune, yourself, everything, the way you have worked towards yourself in every respect, taking care of yourself, looking after the needs of your home, looking after the need of your company, your outdoor work, everything. But it's taken you a lot of effort, and he knows that you have discarded this 3 of Swords energy only because you have focused on your own self, divine feminine. And he knows that. He knows that. Right? And what is this happening here? The 9 of Wands. And because of this situation, guys, he has been very, very resilient to bend down in front of you. Because for him to have bent down in front of you would be his defeat here. You see? Because you are standing, now look at the difference here. Okay, you are standing I'm sorry about the glares, guys. You are standing strong and he is sitting on the ground, with that wand in his hand, holding on to his stubbornness, not refusing to give it up, not refusing to surrender and say that you have been defeated, divine masculine, because he knows you are in that power and that position. And to bend down in front of you, to surrender in front of you, would be his complete defeat here. And that's the reason he has been fighting this energy with you. He has been fighting this energy because he knows that you are very powerful. And if he comes to you, he's coming to you in this shape and form that shows that he is totally defeated by you. Right? So this is where he was refusing to budge. This is where he was refusing to tell you anything. This is where he was refusing to do anything. He was fighting against his will. Okay, he knew he has been defeated, guys. He knew he has been defeated, but he was not giving it up in front of you. He was not showing it in front of, because that's where his pride was. That's where his ego was. Right? And to surrender his defeat, like I said, to surrender his defeat in front of you is something he could not fathom. He just could not fathom. And so he sat over there. He thought about it, of all the mistakes. See, another thing that's happened, okay. Another thing that has happened with this man, let me tell you. The reason he could not surrender more is because of the past mistakes of the 8 Wands. Right? Of the past mistake that he has already committed, has already happened in his life with you. And that's the reason he's being very stubborn. No, I'm not going to own up to my mistakes in front of her. I'm not going to tell her that I have made a mistake before. That's a defeat. That's my pride going down the drain right in front of my divine feminine. How can I say that? How can I say that? But he also knows that you know he has been defeated. But until he tells you that in person, until he lets it out, it's not verbalized. You know what I mean? It's not been told. And it's very difficult. It's getting very difficult for him to say this out loud. It's getting very difficult because you are very strong and stable and completely in balance and control of your own power. Whereas his own power is all the mistakes of the past. So he doesn't want to talk about it. He doesn't want to say anything about the past because the moment he repeats or tells you or opens the Pandora box, all the past mistakes will come tumbling out. And that is what he's trying to prevent. So he's fighting against his will. He's like a warrior. No, I'm not going to say. No, 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 in different tones. Right? Then we get the Knight of Swords. So here is this energy. And to me it looks like, to be honest with you, to me it looks like it is somebody from outside this connection. Somebody who is telling him to surrender now. Somebody who is advising him, don't stay like this. Don't stay on like this, because the more you stay on like this, right? Let's see where the card is. The more you stay on like this, the less you will get in life. If you don't open up, if you don't tell her, yes, it is a defeat. Yes, it could be a defeat for you. That you have to surrender. You have to own up to your past mistake in life. You could be, yes, everybody makes mistake. Mistake is a part of our learning. But if you sit in that energy of telling yourself that no, I can't be going to my divine feminine in this shape and form, right? I want to go to her as she is in the right shape and form. But here it is, I go to her in a half bent position, which is clearly showing how energetically drained and defeated I have been in my life. So here it is, that somebody is telling him here. Now it's difficult to say who that somebody could be. It could be a friend, it could be a relative, it could be a co-worker, it could be even outside somebody. It's very difficult to say. But somebody who kind of knows this person, and could be an air sign, Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius energy, could be coming straight at him and telling him, you cannot be sitting crouched in that position anymore. You need to get up and do something about yourself. That's the energy I'm getting here. And this energy is coming from some other source. It is not the energy of the divine masculine. But whoever the source is, or whichever the source is right in the center of the reading. So it clearly tells me that he is hearing this person out. He is getting the information. Because this energy is very frank. It's very, very blunt. Not just frank, but even blunt. Right? Doesn't mince his words. Very unemotional as well. Very unemotional. Says the truth. Is very frank. but can be very unemotional. So this person could be blaming him, or this energy could be blaming the divine masculine for doing what he did. But there is some kind of an action in here that is happening towards a situation. And what I'm getting, guys, is that he's surrendering to this energy here. He's not fighting this energy here. Whoever this energy is, or from wherever it's coming from, he's not fighting this energy. He's patiently understanding his problems here. Right? He's patiently gathering his problems in here. And he knows that whatever this energy is telling him is all very true. It's all very true. And this energy could be also telling him to move now, get up and be fearless. Take action on this situation. Now, this situation of the Knight of Wands can create a lot of impulsiveness. So what I'm getting, guys, is that because of this Knight of Sword energy, the divine masculine is becoming very impulsive. Impulsive in the sense that he wants to move right now. Or it could be he's becoming very impatient. He's becoming very impatient to even communicate with you, because this energy, the Knight of Swords, could be telling him that he needs to communicate with you. He needs to openly have a conversation with you, Divine Feminine. So what is happening is that this movement, this sudden rush of movement, is creating this very impulsive, rushed situation in him. Or it also could be that this energy is telling him the fault that he did before. He must be telling him, it's whether he, she, doesn't matter, is telling him that you have done the mistake before with the Nine of Wands, and you need to own up to this situation here. Right? Because you have made the mistake of rushing. You took time to enter, but you quickly exited. That's one. The second is you did not think it through of what you were doing. You just decided to go for it and you went for it. You did not think it through. You need to think it through. So this energy is very unemotionally narrating what he did before. You know, because of that, or it could go both ways. We'll see what's happening here. Either this energy is telling him to get up and get moving, or this energy is directing him and telling him the mistake that he made in the past. It can go either ways. Right? It can go either ways, because this energy is of the Knight of Swords, and it looks to me that it's coming from a different source in here. It's not him. Excuse me. You know, excuse me. This can be somebody who very frankly communicates, you know, tells the truth, is very focused, highly frank, and could be a little bit impatient. But this energy of the Knight of Wands is a very impatient energy. Doesn't have much patience. Doesn't have much patience for any long conversation here. But whatever that situation is, he's learning to understand something here. He's learning to understand something, some mistake that he has done, he has made, that he needs to own up to now, right? He needs to tell the truth. He needs to own up to it. So, yeah, something that he is getting a hold of from this conversation here. Please talk to me about the Knight of Swords. Like I said, it can go either ways. Either this energy is telling him to get up and get moving, or this energy is telling him, excuse me, to show that he has got a lot of guts, can be fearless, or the Knight of Wands is a mistake that he made in the past. It can go either ways, guys. Please talk to me about the Knight of Swords here. The Queen of Wands, yeah, they're definitely having a conversation about you. Or, okay, yeah, and the Five of Pentacles, yeah. Or it could be, okay, this is what it is, I think is happening. He is fathoming the worst. He's fathoming the worst, that if he opens the conversation or he surrenders in front of you, you will come rushing at him, Divine Feminine. So this could be your energy. He's trying to understand how you will rush towards him and tell him what he did before. So like I said, I thought first it was an outside energy. It also can be an outside energy who is trying to tell him that this is what's going to happen. You know, it's like giving you the forewarning that if you talk to her, be prepared that she will come rushing towards you very unemotionally and will tell you what she thinks about this situation here, about the Three of Swords. So if you are going to open up the conversation and surrender yourself in front of her, be ready to face this consequence from this Queen of Wands, because she is the Queen of Pentacle turned into the Queen of Wands. She can turn into the Queen of Wands because she has a lot of passion for the truth. Remember, she has a lot of passion for the truth that she will clearly blurt out in front of you, and you have to, because the moment you surrender and tell the truth, she will come charging. She will definitely come charging at you. And this could be an advice, a guidance from a different source in here about you, Divine Feminine, because you could be a very nurturing, nourishing person in yourself when you're free of all the troubles. But if you see this happen, you will suddenly, your passion will be lit up, will light up. Because you're fiercely strong, you're fiercely independent here as well. You're fiercely independent, you have a lot of passion, you know how to attract people into your life. You know what you need and how you need to make things happen. You know it all. So for you to get into the Knight of Swords energy is not difficult, in order to tell the truth of what he has done, because you could be becoming very impatient here as well, Divine Feminine. You could be equally impatient here because you have been dealing with those Three of Swords, right? So you may have no patience to deal with any kind of BS in here until he surrenders, because you will not take that BS. So you will be very, you will also, there could be a tendency for you two Divine Feminine to talk without thinking. You could do that. You will say first and then you will think. But it should be the contrary, that you think first and then you say, right? But in your case, because of this hurt situation, you could be very impatient. So when you talk, you will have no time for patience, oh, it's okay, I understand, no, what happened? No, you won't, you're like blum, 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 blum. A, B, C, D, because you will also be very impatient with the situation here. You are already impatient, so you don't have patience for this situation, and you will quickly act on this situation here because you have gone through this Five of Pentacles. You have gone through this learning lesson, so you have no time for any more pain or depression to deal with to deal with his pain and depression, that he will come and tell you, oh, how depressed I am, how painful this is. You will have no patience because you have seen. You get me? You have seen what it is. So you will have no patience. Please talk to me about the Knight of Wands. You will want action to happen because you are bold, you're fearless, you're courageous, and you don't want somebody who cannot be like you. That's also a part of the story. You don't want to deal with somebody who will sit over there and marinate over what they haven't got in life, how depressed they are, how victimized they feel. You have no time for that, Divine Feminine. I'm sorry, but that's what I'm getting and I'm telling you. You have no time because you have dealt with a lot of this Three of Swords energy where you have turned your back towards a situation and you're not going to invite that Three of Swords back into your life. So you're going to be very frank, brutally honest about the situation. See? The Knight of Wands and the Eight of Wands. Yeah. Your communication will be very quick. Very, very quick, Divine Feminine, and he knows that. That you will have, the moment he surrenders or he tries to tell you, oh, how sorry, his situation has been, what he has been going through, blah, blah, so on and so forth, you will be like, I don't have the time for that. If you have anything to say that makes sense to me, then please say it. It has to be very, very quick. Because whatever you're going to say, you will take action on that, Divine Feminine. Whatever you're thinking of saying, you will definitely take action on that situation. That also could be a part of your rash decision. It also could be a part of your rash decision in life. But, this energy is showing up. Is showing up because you have seen through that painful situation, and like I said, you don't have time for that anymore. Not the patience to handle any kind of depression or depressive energy around you. Because you are the Queen of Wands, you are the Queen of Pentacles, you are in your power, you are independent, you are strong, you're courageous, you have the guts, the passion. People come to you, you don't go to people. You get my point? People come to you, you don't go to people. So therefore, you have no time for anybody who cannot take action on their own situation and tries to come and cry over the spilt milk. You don't have time for that. So you will take action on what you are saying very quickly, and like I said, you will perhaps not think twice. Maybe you will find it out later that what you have said you shouldn't have said, but that is the energy. That's the energy, and this energy comes to somebody who has gone through a lot of pain, who has seen the worst. A pain for love. A pain towards love, a pain for love. So therefore, your emotion has been very, very badly, brutally severed in yourself. So that's why you're becoming that kind of a person or that kind of an energy here, that he knows that you don't have time for all that anymore. You will, the moment he surrenders or he tries to give you any kind of, should I say, sob story, it doesn't sound right because it might not be a sob story for him, but for you it might sound like a sob story. Right? So you will be like, no, I don't have time for that. Sorry. Say what you have to say and let's move, because you will take action on what you are thinking about this situation. That's the energy here. So the Eight of Pentacles shows up, and that is where this is a project for the Divine Masculine. He knows this is going to happen. He knows this is going to happen, and that's what he's looking at. It's a new project in his life. He's working on how to handle the situation here in the material world, right? Because he knows that this is a situation that will turn out eventually here. So before he does anything, he will have to prepare his ground. He will have to know what he is looking at, how he is working, what kind of an energy does he hold in him in the 3D as well. He's investing in something new as well. Maybe he hasn't told you that. He's doing something new. That could be a new work, a new career, something new in the tangible world. Or learning something new. Could be a spiritual learning as well for some of you. Some of you guys could be into very spiritual part of the story. Because you get the Hermit, right? So you could be learning something from a mentor, from a guide, from somebody who is showing you Divine Masculine, who is showing you some kind of a success and how to work towards it. Right? Because you see, the problem over here, he knows that you don't have the time or the patience to deal with that kind of an energy that he has been carrying with him. So that is the reason I get a feeling that the Eight of Wands and the Eight, this is a change of karma. 8 is a change of karma, right? 8 is a change, a transition that's going on in his life that you are also undergoing in yourself, and even he is undergoing. He's learning a lot of new things. There could be some kind of a plan that he has in his pocket, right? With the new 2-8, right? To move out of a situation that he cannot handle anymore. But in order to move out of that situation that he cannot handle anymore in himself as well, he will have to figure out a new solution, a new approach, something new, some new learning where he could be possibly having, like I said, he could possibly be having a mentor, a guru, somebody, some very spiritual, religious kind of a personality who could be his guide, who he could be following, maybe in social media, anywhere, learning something more about spiritual part of the story. He could be following somebody in his life, right? And as he is learning to follow somebody, as he is learning to gain that knowledge and that wisdom in himself, he too is undergoing a change in himself. He is also undergoing a change. This also could be a new project, the project of changing his own personality, learning to change his own way of thinking, reorganizing himself, re-evaluating himself, where he has gone wrong, what he has done in life. So he could be following somebody from where he is learning a lot. That in turn is changing his whole personality. He's becoming more wise in himself. He's becoming more grounded and learning about his own self. He's not talking, he's isolated himself from a lot of situations because he is changing his own personality, his demeanor. The way he looked at things before, the way he thought of things before, the way he interacted with people before, right? He's learning to gather the wisdom and the knowledge that he himself is a soul. A very wise old soul. The hermit, again, doesn't happen overnight. It's that energy of somebody who is an old soul, has seen through a lot of pain, has seen through a lot of grief, has a lot of hard experiences in his life. And that's when he's learning to deal with everything in himself. And that is changing his outlook towards his own life, towards people, towards situations, right? Towards anybody in life. So that's a new project he's working on. There is a change, a transformation that is happening to him with the Ace of Swords, because as he is growing older and wiser, he's learning to accept a lot of truth about himself. He's learning to accept a lot of flaws about himself. Because with the 8 and the 8, he's relieving himself that if I take this as his energy, he's relieving, he's letting go of that impatience. It also could be that he's letting go of his impatience. You know, that to do things quickly, to say things without thinking, and, you know, saying it once and then going back and thinking, oh, I shouldn't have said this. Right? I shouldn't have said this to the divine feminine. It also could be his energy. Because like I said, energies can go both ways. And that is where he is kind of relearning about his own situation. He's becoming more wise. He's becoming more, a person with a lot of depth in himself. Like he thinks before he talks. He marinates his thought. He just doesn't give you an advice because he feels like telling you something. He doesn't talk just because he wants to talk. He thinks. He works on himself. Right? He controls his emotions. He's an old soul. So he is growing older. And the soul is growing older. And as the soul grows older, he becomes more mature and more wise. That's when maturity is. Maturity is not stemming from how old you are. You can be a 40-year-old guy and can be matured. On the other hand, somebody could be a 35-year-old guy, but could be an old soul, very matured. Right? So that's where the maturity is stemming from. And as he is maturing in himself, as he is learning about his own fault, his own defects, his own success, whatever success he has achieved. Not that everything he has done in life has gone down the drain. He had his personal success, right? How much of hard work he has put in his life. What are the efforts that has shown him the result? And what are the efforts that will show him the result? Right? So the past and the present are both mixed, and the future are all three of them together in the Ace of Swords. So whatever he did before, how he worked in his life, what are the success stories he had seen, The present times, what are the success stories? How does he gain success in his life? How that is the clarity of success. How does he talk to people? What is the right way he communicates? He's an old soul, so he has to communicate with that maturity. He just cannot be like this Knight of Wand. He cannot be matured and say what he has to say and then leave the situation in that way and walk away. No. See, the transformation is right in front of you guys. So he's developing his own maturity. He's learning to understand the way to talk, the way to communicate. Lot of clarity, lot of honesty, right? He cannot be a false person. He cannot wear a mask. Whatever he says has to be a complete truth. So all these things are working in his life at this point in time where he is changing his own karma. See, whatever the karma that he did before was wrong in his life, that is the realization. That is the realization that he cannot do this again. He cannot. So with age, experience, and maturity, his soul is undergoing a big change. A big change. So the way he talks, the way he communicates, the way he thinks. Very important, because what you think is what you take action on. What you think is what you say. So the way you think, the right kind of maturity, the way you think is the way you will talk, is the way you will communicate. Not like the Knight of Wand. Blah, 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 blah. I want this. I don't get this. I'm going. No. This is a different person who is showing up in here. Okay, let me just get a clarifier for the Ace of Swords before I wind up the reading, guys. Please talk to me about the Ace of Swords here. So, lot of wisdom, stunning. Lot of wisdom is floating back because of the experiences. See, Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, this is the turning point. This is where the turning point is happening, guys. Look, this is a change that's coming up in here. This is the turning point. The truth, the clarity that's bringing about the maturity, that's bringing about the truth and clarity, that in turn is becoming his turning point in his life. The Ten of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords. So there is some communication that's going to happen over this situation. And this could be with the situation he is tied up with money. With money, guys. And this energy could be very quick, very blunt, very unemotional when it comes to this part of the material, part of his money. Because then you have the Devil and the Nine of Swords. Yeah, there has been a lot of painful restriction in his life with money that somebody is holding in his life, and he wants to free that. He wants to free that money or that situation. He wants to free that because of this restriction with the money here that has been causing him a lot of guilt and sleepless nights. Yeah. Because then you have the Page of Swords and the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, this is where he is waiting. He is in observation to merge this situation between you and him. He is waiting and observing what happens in here, right? What happens in here before he can bring back a balance in this relationship in here again. Yeah, this is something to do with money. He possibly could be wanting to merge your story and his story together, because then you have the Chariot and the Seven of Cups. Yeah, there is a delay. Guys, there is a delay here, but it's going to happen. There is a delay because right now he is a little bit confused at this point in time how he should work his energies in the right way. So there could be a delay with regards to this situation, or the delay is over and he is ready to take action. Yeah, the delay is over and he is ready to take action. Ten of Swords and the Five of Wands. Yeah, there is a brutal ending to a lot of drama in his life. There has been a brutal end to a lot of drama in his life, guys, that had prevented him from moving forward. Yeah, so what I'm getting, guys, is that the drama is over now. And because the drama is over, there is still some confusion that he's trying to work in the right way, because there is still some restriction that he is working towards with the Knight of Swords. Yeah, he's working to clear this area of his life. And this could be with regards to money. This could be with regards to money that he is waiting to take on, where it could be that somebody over here, that could be a karmic situation or third party situation, is controlling those pentacles. And that has been causing him a lot of sleepless nights, because he will otherwise lose money, a lot of money from his own situation here. Yeah. Yeah, so he is waiting to, yeah, this is the situation, guys. This is the Knight of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles. There is some very unemotional conversation that will happen with the pentacles he already has. Yeah, he already has, right? So there will be some very unemotional conversation, because he's very focused on this area of his life, the Ten of Pentacles. He's very focused on the money, the abundance. He will not just let it go. So he will kind of, he's taking action on this situation here to relieve himself from all the drama that has happened, that created a lot of procrastination in this situation, right? With a lot of restriction and suffering and pain and all these kind of things with the Devil and the Nine of Swords, that shadow side has been going through a lot of pain. Lot of pain that he hasn't been able to talk about. Yeah, he hasn't been able to talk about the situation. So which is where he's waiting to relieve himself from that situation, because that wait has been for way too long. And he knows that he will have to take action on this situation, because there has been a lot of procrastination with regards to this movement forward, because of the drama, right, that has been going on in his life, that possibly has halted now. So he's ready to get into action with regards to the money situation in here, guys. Okay, so enjoy this reading. Until I see you once again, till then, goodbye, God bless, Khuda Hafiz, and Namaste.